How's it going, guys? I'm back to another episode. We're going to talk about how to connect the PlayStation 3 controller to your PC so you can actually play video games with it. Now, this is a video that works for Windows 10, which means that I think this is pretty updated, at least compared to the last video I did on Windows 7. This should be pretty updated. So we're going to talk about how to actually set up the controller. We're going to talk about what kind of software we're going to need, and we're going to talk about an issue that you guys may run into when you set up the controller, which is the fact that the software we're going to use is not going to recognize your controller. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and download the software we're going to need. Well, the first thing you guys should do is probably get a PlayStation 3 controller and a USB cable so you can actually hook it up to the PC, but just go ahead and wait with that. Don't actually hook it up yet. So the software you're going to need is going to be a software called MotionJoy, which I do actually have right here. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description so you guys can just go ahead and download it. And once you download and install it, we're going to go ahead and get another software that you're going to need in order to make this a little bit easier every time you connect your controller to the PC. Now, the second software you're going to need is one called Better DS3 tool, which is, like I said, a software that makes it easier and faster to connect your controller each time you need to use it. So you can either download it from this link that I have here, or from the same website as before, which is also a link. I'm going to put it in the description, so you guys can get it from whichever website you want to get it from. Now, the thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and open up the first software, which is called MotionJoy. And this software looks really non-user friendly. It doesn't look very good, but we don't need to do a lot of things in here, so don't worry about it. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open up the software. You're going to take a controller, you're going to take your cable, and you're going to hook it up to the PC. Like so, and like so, and we get a beeping sound. And as you guys can see, it's actually hooked up now. There's lights in it. Now, once this is hooked up, what you need to do is you're going to go ahead and go into your MotionJoy again. And as you guys can see, it does actually recognize my controller here. Now, this is because I've already set up my controller, but just to show you guys what you need to do in order to get this working, is you need to go into Driver Manager, because your controller is most likely not going to be right here inside Connected Game Controllers. So you're going to go to Driver Manager, and it's going to open up a new window where you can actually see the controller in here. So if you can actually see it, go ahead and check it off and say load driver, and it's actually going to load the driver for the controller. Now, some people run into the error where, as you guys can see, mine does actually say load driver blah 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 completed. Some people are going to get a red error message that says that the controller could not be loaded or something like that. And this is the fix that we need to look into just after we look into how to actually do this sort of thing, like actually connecting the controller. So at the end here, we're going to talk about how to fix that issue. So if you did actually succeed and it's connected, you can actually go back to your profiles. And in here, you're going to go ahead and select the controller if it did not select it already for you. And then you're going to go down and set the input as Xbox 360 controller emulator. And yes, I do know this is a PlayStation 3 controller, but trust me on this one, just go ahead and choose Xbox 360 controller. After you've done this, you can actually do a vibration test. To test it, it does actually vibrate. And you can say enable. Once you've done that, we can actually close down the program. Afterwards, you're going to go ahead and open up Better DS3.exe, which is the other tool we downloaded. And as you guys can see, my controller now shows up inside the program. Now, after I have it in here, you can actually go ahead and say new, and then create a new profile, because we do actually need to tell it how the buttons should be laid out. So we're going to go ahead and choose the one called XL input. Once you're in here, you can actually go ahead and give it a name. I'm just going to call this one PS3 controller or something. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure that it says that the controller template is set to DualShock 3. And then you're going to say autofill Xbox 360. And yes, I know it says autofill Xbox 360, but just go ahead and click it. And you guys can see it does actually change all the buttons, at least the layout for all the buttons in here. Once you change all the layouts, it should be set up as a PlayStation 3 controller, even though it said Xbox 360. So just go ahead and do that. Once you've done that, you can just say save profile. So now that you saved it, you can actually go ahead and select the profile down here. And as you guys can see, I have my PS3 controller. I select it, I can actually hit apply, and that's basically it. Now you can start up a game and use the controller. So every time you need to set up or like start up the controller, we need to use it. All you need to do is open this program, not MotionJoy, and just simply select the controller and select the profile and click apply, and then you can use it. Now, if you did in fact run into the issue that I talked about before, where the controller did not get recognized, then I have a fix for you. Because I did actually get quite a few comments of people saying that they did not get it recognized, and I just upgraded to Windows 10 not long ago, and I had to reinstall this software, which means that I did actually need to set it up again, and I ran into the same issue. So if you did actually run into this issue, I have a link for you here. And this is basically a small description. It says down here, step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on, so on, so on how to set up the driver for the controller. Because right now your Windows operating system does not allow the driver for the controller to be recognized. So we need to allow it to do that. So the first thing you're going to do, as it says, is you're going to go ahead and click the start menu. You're going to go to settings. Just going to go ahead and drag it over here. Inside your settings, you're going to go to update and security. Now, depending on if you're on Windows 7 or Windows 8 or 8.1, it might look a bit different, but just go ahead and go to update and security inside your control panel. In here, you're going to go to recovery, which is over here on the left side. And down here where it says advanced startup, you're going to go ahead and click restart now, but not quite yet because I'm not done talking. Once you hit restart now, it will actually restart your computer and boot it up in some kind of mode where you can actually go in and change settings on the computer and that sort of thing. Once you're in there, like it says inside the guide, you're going to go ahead and click troubleshoot, which is one of the buttons in there. You're going to click advanced options. You're going to click startup settings. And in here, you're going to get some different options after it reboots again. I think it's going to reboot again. And you can actually choose to disable driver signature enforcement after it boots up the second time. Now, the way you're going to choose that is by clicking F7, like it says here. And once you do that, it's going to restart your computer and boot it up normally. And that's all you need to do, just to make sure that it doesn't block your driver for your controller. So once you've done that, and go back to MotionJoy and load the controller software, if you do actually go back to MotionJoy here, let me just go ahead and open it up. You're going to go back into MotionJoy. You're going to go to Driver Manager. And once you hit that, load driver after you take it off, load driver, it should not give you an error message. And then you can just follow on this episode from the beginning. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this worked for you. I do not know what's wrong if it does not work for you. I get a lot of people asking me, if it does not work, what should they do? I don't know. But it did actually literally take me 5 minutes to figure out how to do this. So, a quick Google search should make you guys figure out something when it comes to not connecting the controller. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.